Well, my friends, we're back again. We're back again. Hey, this story just won't die. The Cheesecake Factory date. It's back.
Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
Sweetheart, listen to me. I would never do that to you because McDonald's is right down the damn street. I never understood why some women will say that they deserve something because they look a certain way. Like, honestly, what did you bring to him? Because we're going just off looks. None of us really deserve a damn thing because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Not because you think you're cute. And Cheesecake Factory got some fire-ass breadsticks.
This woman has followed up and doubled down. And first I want to say salute to Mr. Kevin Wesley for getting these two on his podcast to talk about it. His podcast is called The Truth Factory. But hey, listen, man, too many of you have been asking me to follow up on this response. And I wanted to move on. Guys, and tell me what you want to hear on this channel. But, I want to talk more about money issues, fitness issues that will deal more with how to build you to be better men and women and how to have better relationships. Instead of just addressing the problems with sexuality and female and male dynamics, I want to bring more serious issues to the forefront of what makes relationships stronger and what will destroy relationships, the social interaction part of it. Unfortunately, the things that get the most emotional impact are things like this. But to be honest, gentlemen, besides helping you pick a date, it's not going to help you keep a date. It's not going to help you keep your marriage solid if you guys are having financial problems. It's not going to keep your marriage solid if one of you are so out of shape you can't even get an erection anymore, or you're not feeling sexually attracted to your woman anymore, and you're not feeling sexually attracted to your man. He's not providing anymore. These are major issues in your relationships. But unfortunately, I have to keep coming back to this because this is the stuff that you all keep asking me to review. But listen, I don't want to go too far off of this topic because this one is going to be a pretty long one because I'm going to try to get a lot of lessons across to you because of this one incident. Because the dating dynamics between males and females are so wide apart that if we don't bridge that gap, we're not going to get anything else done. To hell with the money, because both of you are spending money separately, wasting money with separate lives. What I'm trying to do is to help bring us together as a community, as a people, as a species. Because right now we're not doing a good job. But let's get into the Cheesecake Factory date follow-up. But before we get into it, guys, listen, make sure you give me a like coming in on this video so that the algorithm will know that, hey, this guy is talking some facts, okay? And second, if you want a quick question answered, go over to Instagram, find me there, send me a voice message. I'll be happy to respond instantly, or at least in the same day, okay? And if you want a long chat, log in to askanolderman.com. Book a session with me so that I can help you with some of the problems you may be having. All right? So with that said, let's get in to the follow-up to the Cheesecake Factory date.
Have you guys had a second date?
No second dates.
Okay.
So I'll start with you, Jay.
What has dating been like for you since that video went viral?
Since I was on the video, kind of unexpected. I might not have put my best foot forward, and so I feel like I've not really met anyone since who have really gotten to get to know like that because a lot of women they might have seen the video or might have heard from it, or maybe a friend of them has seen the video and shares it with them, and so they kind of had this image of me based on the video.
Absolutely.
And it.
Okay, gentlemen, don't ever be like this. That was just painful to listen to, Jay. Brother, I literally applaud you for what you did on that date. But here you're portraying yourself as the victim of this issue. You are not the victim, my friend. You have no reason to apologize for what you did. This woman was clearly disrespectful to you, your time, your energy, and your money. Okay? Your meat. M-E-A-T. Money, energy, attention, and time. Listen, guys, you have to protect those 4 things. Women want those 4 things from you. Thanks to Coach Adams for that acronym. That didn't come from me. I give men credit where credit is due. Okay? Coach Adams, he's the one that came up with that acronym. I thought it was brilliant because it just brings it all together. M-E-A-T. Money, energy, attention, and time. That's the 4 things that females will suck from you. They need that, especially your money and attention. Those are the 2 primary ones. First of all, look at his demeanor. Hunched over. He's smaller than the rest of the two guests. That tells you one thing, is that he is lacking in confidence. He asserted his boundaries in this case when he refused to bow to this woman's wishes, but it had to be pushed to an extreme. He started out wrong. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead. Let's get into it. Let's proceed.
It hasn't really helped.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like they might think everything about me is reflected in that video, and I don't think it is. And but yeah, it's been difficult.
Sure.
Well, and it's even before this, dating has already been difficult.
Dating has been difficult for me. You see what I'm talking about, guys? He may be a little nervous here. He's in front of a much larger audience. He now knows the attention that's on him. But for God's sake, man, lift your shoulders up. Speak from here. Dating has been Gentlemen, do not ever do that in public. You might be as nervous as hell. You get your shoulders back, your chest up, and you speak like a man. Don't ever do this in public. That's your first lesson you're learning from this.
I imagine your views kind of clash with what you're looking for and what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I think in general, my values kind of reflect wanting to build something that lasts.
Yes, sir.
And I want to make sure that anyone that I meet is willing to build a really strong foundation based on our mutual values. Mm-hmm. And I think it in general, a lot of the people that I meet, either they don't have time to set towards building something like that, or they just don't want to because, they're younger, they want to experience, casual dating or whatever it is. And it's just not something that I'm looking for right now.
So this is something that every man suffers with, but he's been rejected so often that he looks beaten. He looks beaten to the point where he would approach a woman like this. And I say like this because you will see later on why I say this, okay? But let's just pay attention for a second.
Understood. So obviously, guys, Jay's saying that they're viewing him in a negative light when it comes to dating. When I saw Jay, I saw someone who was making some excellent points, who knew what he wanted, and he's actually now like a Giga Chad in the...
No. He is not a Giga Chad. My brother, I understand that you're trying to make him feel good, but he's not even close to a Giga Chad. Number one, a Giga Chad wouldn't even be in this situation. This woman would have jumped at the chance of being out with a Giga Chad. She wouldn't even pull out her phone. They would have gone to McDonald's and she would have been damn happy that she was at McDonald's with a Giga Chad. My friend, you used the wrong word here, Brother Wesley. No, this is not a Giga Chad. Not even remotely close.
Manosphere world and the red pill community. The brother's being mentioned everywhere for the way he handled that conversation.
Yes, we commended him on the way he handled the conversation. But that was a man that had been pushed to the point. He already had screwed up when he was told, wait for an hour for me to get ready. A Giga Chad would have been gone in 10 to 15 minutes. A Giga Chad probably wouldn't even have waited 5 minutes. Most normal men would wait. Me, I would wait for 10, 15 minutes. After that, I'm out. There's no way I'm going to wait for an hour for a woman to get ready to come down to the car that I'm waiting on for a date. No, hell no. No. He waited an hour. That one simple thing put him in a position where he was below her.
Now I'm going to ask Alicia as well, because during this conversation, Alicia.
Thank you.
We'll get that right. Okay, so Alicia, you didn't seem to really disagree with what he was saying. Now you had definitely a different opinion before he gave you his mind, right? But you seemed very receptive to it. Can you explain to me kind of what you were thinking and how you saw him in that video? Because he's saying they took him in a negative light. What do you think?
Well, yes, I think once we had the conversation, I could see my role in the conflict.
Okay, okay.
Let's back up a little bit. To be fair, I mean, I was always raised that the man is supposed to cater to you. I mean, you're courting me, so court me. That means wherever I want to go, you take me.
Absolutely.
Whatever I want, you buy me.
What delusional world is she living in? Which delusional world? I'm suspecting that she's anywhere in her late 30s, early to late 30s. Could probably be pushing 40 to actually, because with all the makeup, it's hard to determine. But you have to understand, courting doesn't mean that the man spends all of his resources on you and you give what? What do you give back? I'm beautiful? Oh, please. One thing, ladies, you have to understand, women like this keep you all single. Single women keep women single. Because this is the biggest pile of crap that I've ever heard. Courting is you getting to know me and I get to know you. Back in the day, that was out holding hands, walking in a field, sitting under a tree, going to have a swim together, talking aimlessly in the park with a sandwich that the woman made. Okay, the man buying a soda, sitting, relaxing, feeding each other's mind. This idea that courting means that, the man spends a shitload of money on you, that is, I'm trying to keep this clean, that is absolute BS. And this is what she's used to? Oh, please. Which black woman you know that grew up with men courting her?
So we're going to be out here making videos to shame a man for taking you to the Cheesecake Factory now, ladies? God. Who raised some of y'all? Were y'all raised by wolves, cows, lions, dragons, aliens? Because at this point, this is becoming embarrassing. It's becoming ignorant. No, it ain't becoming, it's already ignorant. For you, lady, and I hope she sees this video, for you to say that a man shouldn't take you to a chain restaurant because you're too beautiful for that, girl, bye. Who are you? What? A man decided to schedule a date with you, pick you up in his vehicle, come around to open your car door, and you're going to lock his door saying all of this foolishness on camera, making yourself look real dumb. Ladies, stop the foolishness. Just cut it out, because I see why a lot of men don't want to date. I see why a lot of men are leery about women. And men, please understand, we are not all the same. I am happy to go to a date because dating is called collecting data. That's what dating really is. It's collecting data to get to know a person, to see if there's somebody that will fit in your life. That's how dating is.
No men court another woman in that way. Not even close to that in this modern day and age. It just blows my mind. We don't even use the word courting anymore. I don't even know why she even bringing that word up. What she think this is? Some king and queen where, the prince will send his carriage to pick her up? What world? This woman is living in a delusional world. This woman is living in a delusional world. And ladies, understand that this is delusional. I'm glad to see, seriously, I'm glad to see that most women disagreed with this woman.
This lady getting mad because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory and she locked him out of his own car because she refused to get out of his car after she done sat there and made this man wait for over an hour when he came to pick her up. Come take me to the Cheesecake Factory. Come pick me up. You say you're going to be here at 4 p.m. I'm going to be outside waiting for you at 3:45, baby. Okay? Because we don't have to do that. Like, you want respect? Earn that shit. Give it. Okay?
Now, there are some crazy ass women out who say, yeah, you girl, you hold your standards. Those are the single idiots that are still single and they will never find a man.
I'm looking for a provider. So, but after
a provider is smart. He provides the essential things for their long-term survival, not spend all the money on dumb shit, expensive restaurants. A provider is the guy who says, hey, you know what, listen, right now I'm looking to build something big. I would love to take you to a fancy restaurant, but do you mind if we go here because I'm on a budget? That's the kind of guy that you ladies have to say, hey, okay, cool. This man has his head on his shoulder. But she saw a simp. She saw a guy that was a simp. And I will show you as we proceed.
after the conversation, I could see how there was a lot of I
Okay.
in that exchange.
Absolutely.
I was definitely very self-centered, and I can appreciate if I do want someone to provide for me, I at least gotta be a little bit nice.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did she have to downplay a little bit nice? Why do you women think that you just have to be a little bit nice in order for the man to produce everything he has, to provide his meat, money, energy, attention, and time, and you just have to be a little bit nice? Really? This is the absolute definition of narcissism, to the T. I just gotta be a little bit nice. Oh man. Sorry man, it just frustrates me watching this crap.
Based on your idea of dating before your conversation with Jay, how did you grow up? Who also thinks that way? I'm sure you have friends who think that way. I've heard it a lot.
I mean,
Okay.
everybody. I mean, that's
Bullshit.
what the man's. He's
BS.
supposed to be the provider.
Absolutely.
My brother Wesley, that's not something you agree with. A man's supposed to be a provider doesn't mean that he's gonna spend stupid money on you on the first date. That is not a provider, that's a simp. And who is on the receiving end of a simp? A parasite. That's on the receiving end of a simp. The parasite. She is a parasite. Huge parasite, but she's a parasite. And what does parasites do? They feed off of their host until that host dies. Or it is so weak to provide for her anymore, she then jumps to another host. Learn, gentlemen, learn how to identify these women. All women are not like this. Listen, don't get me wrong. All women are not like this.
So, and I'm a beautiful woman, so I'm expecting to be treated like royalty. I mean, come on. So that's
But
what I was
the
told.
I'm a beautiful woman, so I expected to be treated like royalty. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna say anything rude.
How do we treat him? And that's where the disconnect was.
Right.
In the video, now of course I'm sure you think of it differently now, but in the video you basically told him that you're not going in there, you know your value. It would be embarrassing for you to go inside a Cheesecake Factory. A lot of people like Cheesecake Factory. Now, so when I see that video, I'm thinking, okay, she must have some friends who probably would disagree with her going inside a Cheesecake Factory. Your peer group. So peer pressure probably keeps you from.
I would never live that. Oh my God! I would have never lived that down.
That is crap. And if there are women in her circles that would think that, lady, you have the wrong group of women. Because I can strongly tell you, if this man was the man for you, you would have 2 Whoppers at Burger King with him. Maybe 4. Okay? and wash that down with a couple of large fries. But don't tell me that you have friends who would never live this down. What, you go to Harvard? What, you go to what type of woman? Where do you live? Listen, I have dated wealthy women, and I've been to the finest of the finest places. You know what wealthy people love more than anything else? Just go somewhere nice. Just go somewhere simple.
No, I have an image to protect.
Oh, Jesus. As I was recording this video on my phone, this ad came up, and I realized it was an ad for psychologists. And they were talking about narcissistic behaviors. Am I saying that? Narcissistic, geez. You know what I'm talking about. Narcissists, okay? And I decided to fully record it and play it back to you guys so that you all can understand and see some of the traits in this woman. Just listen to this ad, okay? Here we go. Don't try to click off of it. It's recorded into my video, all right? Just listen. Listen to the characteristics of a narcissist.
One of the diagnostic feely things about narcissism is the person takes up the room, right? They take up all the space in the room, and they're not even aware that they're doing it.
So grandiosity and narcissism are really indicators of an individual who is not co-regulating with another.
As clinicians, it's easy to miss more subtle narcissism. People who are both empathetic and well-meaning, but just so concerned with how other people perceive them that they become almost obsessively self-centered and anxious.
What therapists are afraid of, generally, when working with a grandiose or narcissistic client, is the same thing that their partners are afraid of, which is that if you confront them too heavily, if you lean on them, they'll either blow up, they'll leave, or they'll fall apart, and it will be your fault.
Shame is one of the most painful emotions that humans can experience. And so it's not surprising that people want to get away from shame. And some people learn to do that through grandiosity.
What? Now, isn't everything they just said is in this video that you're watching with this woman? Every single thing they said is reflected in this woman. So when I tell you guys, narcissism is a serious problem with females in today's modern age when it comes to social media, you're seeing it. These 5 experts just explained to you a number of characteristics that you can easily identify in this woman. I don't make this shit up. Because of social media, because of feminism, and they have been told that they can have it all, and this idea of grandiose, beyond their imagination, beyond reality. This is what we're dealing with today's modern woman. And I'm trying to explain to you, ladies, that if you're suffering from this, if you have any of these symptoms, you got to realize you're the problem. You're the problem. And if you want different results, you have to change who you are. Simple. It's not rocket science. Every man knows without a doubt. Every man knows that if he's short, fat, bald, broke, he knows the quality of woman that he's going to attract is very low, below average. That's just it. But every woman, regardless of her sexual marketplace value, below average or average, she thinks that she's going to get this grandiose man, not realizing that those men are extremely rare. All right, let's hear this next statement.
Wow, does not do that. That was that was my circle though. That's how sure. That's how we roll.
Sure.
To be quite blunt, that's how we roll.
Single women keep women single. This attitude, soft life. The hell does that mean? A soft life. I don't want to work. I want a man that just caters to me. You can't please women. For them, soft life is, okay, I'm going to just put around all day, go do my nails, go to the coffee shop, chat crap with the girls, come home. The nanny's taking care of the kids. Everything is done. The house is clean. I might do the school run to pick up the kids from school, but that's it. Everything is done at home because they have a help. What is it that you women want from a man? I don't get it. Is that what you want from a man? That's your definition of a soft life? Then you get bored, you start messing with the pool boy, you start messing with the gardener or the helper or whoever else is around, your personal trainer, your tennis coach. That's exactly what happens. Because the second a woman gets the soft life, she's bored. And boredom, my friends, lead to something else.
Is a big thing in my circle. Is what I mean. It's what we've been taught. Why? I mean, as a black woman, I'm gonna go there. I mean, as a black woman, we're really tired of having to settle. We want to be treated well. We want that soft life.
That is just the biggest pile of crap. As a black woman, we just want to be treated well. We don't want to settle. This woman is over 6 feet tall. What does that mean? You don't want to settle. No one settles. People only get what they are valued up by other people. If you're waiting around for this ultimate dude, it means that you don't deserve that ultimate dude because that ultimate dude would find you. So if you're not getting the results immediately, back in your 20s, you're not there, my friend. Ladies, you're not there. If you didn't get the man that you think you should have gotten when you were at your peak looks, your peak value to a man, when you hit your 30s and 40s, reality should set in that, oh, that's not my value. Let me bring it down a bit. This idea of settling is what's keeping you women single. Watch my other videos on this.
So that's what I thought I was going after. However, what I understand is a part of having a soft life is being cooperative.
Being soft.
Not being combative,
You're
right?
Actually being soft.
Right.
Right? Being receptive, being sweet.
Absolutely.
Being pleasant, right? Because we do understand the value of resources, but it can't be just something for a lifestyle. Resources, a man's resources is not just for a woman's experiences and traveling and the lifestyle they'll live when married. Is for providing for the family and the children. And that's why she should seek a man and, respect his resources or prioritize his resources, not just for what it can do for her. Right. And so when you were in the beginning of it, you was just saying, I'm not doing it. It seemed really selfish. Right. And I appreciated that when I saw the video myself. That's one of the things I covered is, wow, I've never seen a woman that receptive to being accountable. Right. And you were. But Jay, however, didn't want to go out on a date. He wanted to discontinue that date. And he wanted to take it on to the house. Jay, is that your first time stopping a date midway through and going on back home, or?
Yeah, something like that's. I'm sorry, at least. Yeah, that's the first time I've really
He don't owe her an apology. You don't apologize to someone who insults you. He's trying to be too nice to this woman. And gentlemen, we know when you're too nice what women do with that. This poor dude. Jay, man, you need some real help with just understanding the nature of femininity. Jay, my brother, you just need some lessons on being a man in today's world. This stuff never, ever work. You gotta go way back into the freaking 50s and 60s for this type of behavior to apply. Because women of today don't appreciate the kind of gentleman-like behavior that you're displaying here. This doesn't work in today's modern world. These are the lessons, gentlemen, you gotta watch and listen and understand. If you're in the dating market, you can apply this. You cannot. Because women don't appreciate this. You stand your ground, you say, hey, I did not appreciate what she did. So the only thing I could do at that point was to cut this date short. I wouldn't waste any more of my time. Listen, you might think it sounds harsh, but those are my standards. And a woman will then start to appreciate you as a man. Right now, you're a simp, my friend. Now look at the sides of this woman to Jay.
I want to go back a bit. Can y'all tell me how y'all met? I want you to tell me how you guys met.
So I was in Midtown, and I barely even have time to go out with friends and all that. But it was a really close friend's birthday, so I went to get some drinks for the first time in ages. And I saw this beautiful woman who it seemed like every other guy in the bar was either intimidated by or too shy to talk to.
No guy wanted to approach her. That's what he's not saying. No other guy approached her. He probably had a few drinks under him as well, all right? Because look at the size of this woman versus him. This woman, I think, is over 6 feet tall. How many guys are going to approach a woman over 6 foot tall? Please, tell me, just in a bar. You see a 6 foot tall woman sitting at a bar, well over 200 pounds, right? How many of you are going to approach her? Yeah, maybe a half drunk, what, 5'6", 5'8" guy? Yeah, who has nothing to lose, had just got some liquid courage in him. Yeah, he'll approach her. And what does she see?
And I thought, what the hell? Why not? And she was, minding her own business. And I asked her, her name, Alicia, and I thought that's a beautiful name. And even despite how loud it was in the bar, we were still able to talk.
So she's minding her own business in a busy bar as a single woman. Think about that. Any desirable woman in a busy bar are going to have tons of freaking men around her buzzing. She wasn't minding her own business, my friend. No one was hitting on her. I know it sounds cold, but I'm just pointing these things out. When you listen to this man trying to make niceness for this woman.
Talk a little here and there, and I got her number, and she had to go. And so we kept talking after that for a little bit, and then like a week later, I asked her, "You want to go out? To this restaurant?"
Yeah.
And I told her it would be a surprise. And maybe that might be a problem on my part. It might have raised the expectations a little bit. But I guess the surprise ended up being Cheesecake Factory, where
right.
He had to play all of his cards, my friends. He had to play every single one of his cards. I'll take you here, I'll take you there, sure. Because, well, you know what? Let's just listen off.
The original surprise was.
I want to get to that. You had something else planned for her, right?
Yeah.
Because of how the evening went, the Cheesecake Factory happened, right?
Yeah.
So,
can I just say before?
Sure.
I love the Cheesecake Factory, and it's a place that I've gone to for like every birthday. So like it wasn't just like.
I'm gonna replay the hair flick when he said, "I love the Cheesecake Factory." Look at her face and look at her demeanor, how it shifts, because this means I don't give a shit. So what you're seeing is a disdain for what he's saying. Women don't care, guys. Women don't care about your feelings.
Alicia.
Yeah.
So Jay, you see Jay walking up to you in the bar, say Midtown. He's walking up to you. He's gonna talk with you. There are other guys around you. Did you notice those guys probably want to talk to you? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So what made you say, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance? What was it about him?
Well, he was bold enough to come up and talk to me for
Confidence,
one.
okay.
He was bold enough to come up and talk to me. In other words, no other guy came up and spoke to her. Read between the lines, my friend. He was bold enough to come and talk to me. No other man approached her.
So yes, I definitely am attracted to confidence. He just seemed like he had a pure heart. He was, very thoughtful, engaging.
He was very simpish.
He won me over. He did win me over, but I'm a tall woman. And so there wasn't necessarily like that immediate attraction. But as we began to talk, it was really his heart that made me say,
It was his heart. No, it was him telling you how great he wanted to treat you. That was it. Because that's the only thing he could have led with. Because if a man who you have to look down on, look at the difference in size between these two people. If you had to look down at this little man, it wasn't any attraction. You didn't dismiss him immediately because there was no other action happening. And then when he told you how good he wanted to treat you, he had to be a little drunk because no man this size is going to introduce himself to a 6 foot tall woman in a bar? None, unless he has a bit of liquid courage behind him. Okay? And so now she got a guy to approach her. Let's proceed.
Give this guy a try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you draw your line? Is that typically you don't date guys who are, guys have to be at least your height or taller before you would date them?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, I understand that. That probably makes it difficult finding someone suitable for yourself. You are what, 6'1", 6?
I'm almost 6'1", yes.
Almost 6'1". Wow. So that means, let's see, 14.5% of men are at least 6 feet, right? But that next 2 inches for you to find someone taller than you, that's 3.6% of men in the entire world that are tall enough that are they're at least 6'2". Is that discouraging?
I mean, I only need one. I only need to
You need one, but he needs to be that height. He needs to make the resources, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be funny. He needs to be charismatic. He needs to be disciplined. And that doesn't discourage you? Like,
I'm an optimist. But no.
I'm delusional. I'm delusional. That's all she's saying. I'm delusional. Forget about optimists. The older she gets, the fatter she gets, because the depression is going to kick in. She's just going to gorge herself because she likes her food. So in her 40s, 50s, she's just going to get bigger and bigger. Her options are going to dwindle to the point of 0. This is her reality. All she has to do is be nice. Accept the fact that, hey, this is a good man. Let me treat him with dignity and respect. And she'll get what she wants.
I like
Yeah,
it. I like
but no, I mean,
An optimist.
logically speaking, I understand what you're saying. I've heard this many times, but I haven't given up on, I hadn't given up on that.
Here I come. Oh, here.
You heard that, guys? I hadn't given up on that. In other words, Jay wasn't an option for a long-term prospect. He was an option for a good meal at a fine dining restaurant. She wasn't going to accept Cheesecake Factory. Jay knew this. He's not a stupid man. He might lack confidence, but he's not stupid. But he was smart enough to know when he should cut his losses, because his dignity was taken away from him from the time he had to wait downstairs for an hour. He had to suck that up first. But when now she tried this thing, he said, okay, no, hell no. This tall giraffe ain't worth my dignity, especially when she now putting it on air. Yeah, it took 3 major events to break poor Jay, plus a whole bunch of minor ones, not touching him, not inviting him upstairs, not trusting him, all of these things. 1 hour late to come down for the date. Number 2, not getting out the car at the Cheesecake Factory. She wouldn't accept that. And number 3, recording him and trying to make him look bad on air. After that, Jay knew that this was real, that this woman didn't have his best interest in mind. So, guys, you got to identify when a woman is taking, in British terms, when a woman's taking the piss, when she's trying to take advantage of you. You got to know the difference. You got to know when it occurs and abandon ship. Jay did the right thing. Now let's listen to a little bit more of her delusion and her narcissistic tendencies here.
But I'm actually open. I really enjoyed our conversation, so I would consider.
Well, sure. And I was going to.
I wish he didn't interrupt her there and then, because she was now again begging him to take her out, because she saw the backlash she got online. And now she realized that, hey, this is actually a good man, because people identified and pointed out that he's a good man. I wish Kevin didn't interrupt her here.
Commend you for that. I didn't see it as I know you're saying that they have to be that height, but it seems that you are willing to, make an exception, just like you did for Jay here when he walked up and he had the confidence of a 6'2" man. You want to at least hear what he had to say, and that's a good thing. Because it may not be the cookie cutter thing that you plan out. So if we're going to look for a happy relationship, a harmonic one that gives our children and our lineage what they need for years and generations to come, right? We may have to make an exception or two, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's
No, to her that's called settling. Not make an exception or two. To her that's called settling. Yeah. That's not how you agree with someone. That's being polite.
sometimes it's not what we want, it's what we need. And we have to be more open to what we need.
That's absolutely true. I was going to say, when it comes to how we date, I think a lot of it is just the information that we have, right? So what I noticed from yours and Alicia's conversation, Jay, is that you had a different view of altogether of what dating should look like leading up to a relationship, and she had a different view. And now,
like, what I should say is, I mean, at the very end of the day, like, I understand dating in America is different from where my family's from, and in a way, like, it's perfectly fine to have those views and to think of dating differently. I just think, for me, I have a very specific criteria, and it's not a long list of criteria, but it's just certain values that I
Sure. Well, I think a lot like you. That's why the video stood out to me. I believe relationships should be harmonic. They should be for a reason. So I believe in dating with intent, right? Yeah. But many people in our generation today, they see dating as something that's just fun. They don't see it as a way to establish a healthy relationship. And that's what I was going to say. There's almost little to no understanding.
It's not just fun in today's dating market. It's about, let me see how I can get something from this without giving anything back. It's dating these days is no longer about a fair exchange. It's about, okay, how can I get sex from this guy or this girl without putting in any effort? How can I get money from this man without putting in any effort or exchanging anything of value? How can I get a meal out of this guy? How can I get the bag out of this guy? How can I make this man pay for something just because of my looks? How can I be a parasite? I want this word to sink in with you guys, because that's technically what women are looking to be for men, a parasite.
As to what dating should look like when you're trying to establish an intent for a meaningful relationship. And I think that's the biggest problem. It's not so much that people are necessarily selfish or entitled. It's more so that they don't know what they're looking for, right?
They know exactly what they're looking for. Short-term gain. Short-term gain. Get in, get out, move to the next victim. They'll do that through their 20s. When they hit their 30s, they're now looking for a long-term gain. Let me see if I can get with a man, have a kid, lock him in, get a house, and then when I hit my 40s, late 40s and 50s, divorce him, take as much as I want, take all I can get, and then move on again. The dating strategy for women is about short-term gain in their 20s, long-term gain in their 30s, and then by their 40s, an exit strategy so that I can live my second whole life. And then when reality sit in, they need and they're desperate to find another man to lock them down. That's the reality. Let me know if I'm missing something, because I haven't seen any other strategies working in the West. Every man I know now is going through a divorce in his late 30s if he married early, or his 40s, 50s. And it's women leaving, thinking that they could do better, until reality slaps them in their face.
We think we know, but we really don't.
Right. Yeah. Right. So when he asked you the question, you expect men to go all out on a date, huh? You said absolutely. If he likes her, he should present that, right?
Yes.
He should lead and be masculine. He should be willing to pay for the meal, show up on time, open doors for her, the whole nine. But when he asked you, what does a woman expect you to do? You said, look good, be there. And that's where the
disconnect was. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because there should be things that a woman should do, right?
I just don't understand how a grown-ass woman can think that that's enough for a man. Oh, I just gotta look good. I can be an asshole. I could be as bitchy as I want. He's supposed to accept me because I look good. Who thinks like this? This is the height of narcissism. Tell me I'm wrong.
There was this time where you wanted her to hold your arm, right, and walk you to so you could walk her to the car, and she didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You expressed to her that you didn't like that, and that made you feel like, of course, when her not being on your arm, how can you truly protect her, right? But also, her not doing that says she ain't really feeling me like that.
Yeah.
She don't really like me like that.
And you know, I get, you know, it was a first date. Maybe she's not at that stage yet. But
I get that too.
Yeah.
My friend, listen. This is a 6'1" woman, and I'm probably gonna go out on a limb and say, because the way she was dressed, she probably had on a little heels, so she was probably hitting around 6'2". She had 1-inch heels on. She's at 6'2". If you're 5'8", 5'9", because you're not over 6 feet here, you're 5'8", 5'9". She's not going to be seen walking into a restaurant with you, my friend. This almost looks like she's walking into a restaurant with her child. This is where she had the problem at Cheesecake Factory, because probably some of her friends are going to be in there. Okay? The point is that this woman didn't want to be seen out with you, period. She know that none of her friends are going to be at the fancy restaurant, but she's concerned that her friends going to be at Cheesecake Factory, and she's going to be seen walking in with you, my friend. Connect the dots. It's not Cheesecake Factories below her. That's what she's used to. Because why is she concerned that somebody in her circle is going to see her there? That means that her circle goes to Cheesecake Factory. Use logic. This is why I'm a logical, critical thinker, because I can easily identify these things.
It's something that'll take more time to get her to open up or something like that. Where at the end of the day, they don't want a second date because we haven't gotten to know each other. And that to me sounds...
No, Jay. It's short term. It's the meal. No, that woman has about 5 other guys in her contact list, and they're all listed under breakfast, lunch, dinner, fine dining, Cheesecake Factory. They all are listed with their last name under those. The first name is J, second name is the restaurant name, okay? I know I'm being cold, but this is the reality of where we are. The reason they're not gonna see you again is because you, my friend, didn't tickle them down there. You either gotta tickle them enough here or down there. And if you're not doing that, yeah, these women are moving on. But you look like a generous guy, and that's where you're getting messed up.
They don't want a second date because we haven't gotten to know each other. And that to me sounds so irritating, because you didn't want to get to know, we didn't get to know each other because they wouldn't want to talk.
Absolutely.
So it's like,
I completely understand. So as a man dating with intent, you're ending up in these situations where a lot of times you're in hookup culture. And so you're not getting a second date out of it. Meanwhile, here you are, you have spent your money, you spent time with this person who you're never going to likely see again.
Yeah.
Right? Women oftentimes are looking at dates as what they can get out of them, right? An experience, right? Take me to a nice restaurant. I want the ambiance. I want the treatment, right? And with no intent of doing anything special for the guy after the date. So it's almost like it's almost like she's getting over on him, right? Like she's using them for meals. And that's what men say. I'm not going to keep taking these women out if they don't like me. Don't go out if you don't like me, because then it wouldn't end up where he's on the outside looking into the thing. And what do women say oftentimes when he's upset? I took you to this restaurant, I did that, and now you don't want to get close to me, you're not ready. And she's like, well, you wanted to do it. She will let him spend, knowing she's not interested in this man. Now, do you feel that that's wrong?
I don't like users. So, I mean, I do think I think that we're all adults and there's enough of every type out here to where that's not even necessary. Like there are men that really will just spend money on you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a certain type. There's things that go with that, but there are, men that'll just spend money on you and are okay with that. But
what do you
See what I'm talking about, guys? All she's focused on are the men who will spend money on her. That's it.
But
what do you take from that type of man, if you don't mind me asking? We call that a simp. And we call that a simp when a man is willing to buy you anything, take you anywhere, and you haven't actually earned that from him with your affection or just being there for him in general. How do you see that?
If women are being really honest, I don't think most women actually respect a man that is like that.
Exactly. At least that's one of the most honest things she said. She obviously don't respect Jay. Let's look at the disrespect. You made the man wait an hour downstairs in his car while you get ready. If this was any man that you had any respect for and you saw as valuable, as somebody that you wanted to be with, you would have probably taken half day off at work. Call in, I'm a bit sick, I need to go home. You would have gotten yourself perfectly ready and be smack on time. 3:55 for the date at 4 o'clock. Hi, you ready? Yeah, 2 minutes, I'll be down. And you will just rush your butt down to that car in no time. That's what women who have a valuable man, a man that they respect, that's what they do. They don't make that man wait an hour. They would be holding on to that man. Oh my God, he's holding on to me. He's grabbing my hand. He's holding my hand. That's respectful. You literally disdain this man physically. You don't want him to touch you. You disrespect him. And then you actually pull out the camera in the end, lock him out of his own car. That is not respect, my friend. That is not respect. So it's obvious that you were taking advantage of him. You wanted a meal because you showed him disrespect.
A lot of those men, there's a lot of those women who allow that to happen, right? So that's why I take what Jay doing here as being something that is great for men everywhere, okay? He knew his worth. You are a beautiful woman, but he said, you know what? I'm just gonna take her home. I don't have to do this. Yeah. Even to the point when you said, I will go eat with you at Cheesecake Factory. He saw it as, I would have set aside the date, right? Us being late to that reservation. You're not holding my hand. You're not talking to me in the car. But it seems that you pulling out that camera really, really got to him. Do you mind telling me what you probably took by that? You're just on a date and all of a sudden now she's recording you.
A lot of times, if I'm the one asking a girl out, that's me already offering to pay for the meal, right? That's me already being okay with that, right? But her recording me did feel like that's where I felt like she was trying to take advantage. She was trying to and maybe you had a different view on it, but it felt like at the time that you were just trying to get food, like a free meal from a fancy restaurant, and then you get content from me too to post on YouTube, Facebook.
And you get your reputation ran through the mud. So it's all be done at your expense, right? Now, that wasn't your take. You have many groups where you
all lack of respect. You see what I'm saying, gentlemen? You understand what I'm saying. You understand I'm just not bashing. You gotta understand that women don't care how you feel. If she do not respect you, she don't care about your feelings. Listen to what I said. She don't care about your feelings. She has no regard for it. It's not even acknowledged.
Now, that wasn't your take. You have many groups where you encourage women on dating. Y'all talk about dating. Right. And this was something that you said, look, y'all see a lot of dates go wrong. Right. So based on your mindset, you really felt like he was taking you somewhere beneath your value. Yeah. And you were saying, I'm going to show the world how you're treating me. Right. Can you tell us a bit about that so he knows that, it wasn't to embarrass you. It wasn't to, get content, any of that. It was, I felt wronged in that scenario. You mind?
No, I did. I felt like you didn't see my value. And, in that moment,
If the man didn't see your value, that's your value. You don't get it. If I go to a car lot and I see a car sitting on the car lot, it's old, it's beaten up, I can see somebody painted it over, and I see a big sticker price on it, it says $300,000, and I say, nah, that car is only worth $20,000. That's the value I place in it. I don't care about what the dealer wants for it. And I know it's been sitting there for the last 20 years, 30 years, okay? It's sitting there for the last 30 years. And all the dealer can get for it is the $20,000. That is the value. It doesn't matter how much the dealer puts on it. If all she's getting is for offers is her value, Cheesecake Factory, that's her value. Accept it.
You know, in that moment, I felt like I needed the support of my viewers in that moment. But, and not only that, like he said, you know, I discuss relationships and things like that. So I thought that that was a good opportunity for me to kind of have that conversation and see, like, what does everybody else think? I wasn't really taking your feelings into consideration. I wasn't.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
There it is. I wasn't taking your feelings into consideration. Who the hell are you? You're the guy gonna buy my food. You're the food buying guy. That's it. Clip this.
I wasn't trying to be necessarily malicious or anything like that.
You didn't have to. You were neutral. I wasn't taking your feelings into consideration.
I understand.
Good. I'm gonna say this, guys, to end this video, okay? In a world with hookup culture, not having much understanding on relationships based on how we're raised, and then you got social media with the instant gratification and making it so easily to meet people and replace people. Dating has gotten, it's like a thing that's lost to us. I want to ask these two beautiful people here a question. They had one date that went bad. They have not went on a date since that day, right? Now, would you guys be open to another date? Knowing what you know now.
I think if we were able to find a way to get our values more in the center, I could see us trying again.
I mean, yeah, I would be willing to go out on a date again.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, we want to keep up with this first date. Actually, we're going to take care of this first date. It's going to be on us. So we're going to send you somewhere just like they used to do on all those other talk shows. We're going to take care of it. And then we'll reach back to you guys in a couple of weeks and find out how that's going. How does that sound?
Sounds wonderful.
I'd love to see what you guys are up to.
As long as it's not the cheesecake now.
Oh.
She's funny, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, they're being polite. They're being polite. He touched his face and said, well, it wasn't, hey, you know what? I know she's a nice woman. Would you be kind enough to go back on a date with? No, none of that. He's being polite. And she was earlier in the show, she was gonna say that I'd be willing to go back out on a date. I knew she was gonna ask that because she realized she screwed up and she don't have many options. She realized that this guy is still simpy. But I'm hoping, Jay, you smarten up and realize this is not a woman for you, my friend. And I'm hoping with all of this massive amount of attention, women can identify that, hey, this is a good guy, but he's not gonna take any crap, and you'll hit him up. Because there are thousands, if not millions of women out there that would be very happy with this guy. All right, guys, listen, I'm not gonna drag this out any longer. Give me a thumbs up on the way out on this video, please. If you haven't been here before, subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comment section, okay? So until next time, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. Okay, see you in the next one. Cheers.